I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of agenda.
Move to approve.
Support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Review and approve the minutes.
Move to approve.
Support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Moving right along here. Review and approve bills. Accounts payable, $248,233.24.
Move to approve.
Support.
Anybody need a minute to? What do you need?
I see we bought propane for the Jerome garage. Do we pre-buy that propane?
No, because it's only, is it for a machine or is it for the heat there?
That's for the heat.
For the heat, because it was 50.
They don't get it too often.
It doesn't,
It's
we
just
don't get it often enough to really.
You don't get them once a year?
maybe.
Maybe once or twice,
It probably doesn't have
because
a
only
real big
uses for
tank
the
either,
winter.
huh?
Well, it must be a 1,000-gallon tank, because they got 536 gallon.
But I think we only get it maybe once, maybe twice a year. If,
I don't even know if it's once a year.
mhm.
Well, I guess if it gets once a year, it should be a pre-buy, it would be cheaper, but that would just be my 2 cents. Or if it's once a year, it should be in the summer during the summer fill time, but anyway. That's what I noticed.
Any other questions? If not, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same.
You said the outside garages are closed,
Now they are. Yep.
so the Litchfield diesel that was purchased before the garage was closed on 4.2 of it,
Well, we still use the diesel for the mowing tractors when they're out.
Oh,
And so they still keep that.
What about graders?
Yeah, anybody that's in that general area, if they're working with equipment.
so they do, that's
Now
why you
that's
keep
running
it.
clear back to
And
Hillsdale
that
to
makes
get
sense.
fuel.
Yep.
And that's for all the garages.
You know, the pointers that have tanks in their trucks, but they're not
That's for like out on site.
right, but they're not what are they, 100 gallon?
Mhm.
Tank probably?
Yeah, I want to say the 90 gallon or something like that. Are
All righty. Payroll dated April 23rd, regular, $141,333.68.
I move we approve the payroll.
Support.
Any discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion.
Yes.
Guess I didn't want it, did I?
Well, I had to sign it.
Oh, okay. Well, good, then I didn't fail.
No, you didn't.
My observation
You
skills.
did good. I just mentioned that was the last signature on that one.
Treasurer's report.
Beginning cash and investment balance is $3,183,193.52. Total receipts was $322,434.39. Total and bills of payroll for $389,566.92. CD reserve for 2 trucks is $703,473.76. Ending available fund balance is $2,412,587.23. And outstanding accounts payable is $7,825.83.
Any questions? Stand up, present. Thank you. Okay. Been open at 10:15, might as well jump to public comment. Yes.
I'm here for the bid opening.
Oh, okay. All right, we're hoping for public.
I think
We'll
you
take
got
any
one
comment.
public. Sounds
Doug?
good, you guys. Sounds good. You're not in the red, so that's good, right? There we go.
Just quickly, at the last Board of Commissioners meeting, the 911 surcharge ballot language was discussed. The resolution was adopted to continue a county 911 charge of up to $3 a month. And the total accumulated and needed during the course of a year is said to be $1.5 million. The previous 911 ballot language expired at 10 years, which is coming right up. The new resolution eliminated that sunset, and so this, as presented, will be an ongoing millage. The reasoning was that without the millage, the 911 service would not exist. And so the Board of Commissioners decided to strike the language. They had the 10-year sunset, and so this will be a continuing millage forever. So that's my update for now. If you have any questions, please ask. I'll do my best to answer the question.
No,
What is the millage rate?
That's what I just looked at. I don't know. I can get back to you on that because I can find that real quickly here, but I didn't dig that deep right now. Yes.
Two different questions. The millage rate is for the towers. This is about assessing $3 per phone.
Yes, it
Right.
is, and that is
Correct.
true rate.
Okay.
You're correct, so you don't need the first two.
Okay, and I do have that.
We gotta
information here.
just gotta clarify.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. $3, up to $3 per phone, other than
Per phone line.
prepaid wireless is not included in that. But the other per line fee is $3. That's correct. Thank you.
see, an accountant catches that. Anything else?
No.
Any questions for Doug? Okay.
Thank you.
You're getting off easy, Doug.
I appreciate it. I was gone last week, so I appreciate it.
You wanna do some of the comments?
Nice
Was there anybody else that?
Oh, I didn't see you. Hey, how are you?
I got one question right now. I know I've talked to Bob about the different roads that Ranger was gonna do repairs to. And I was talking to one of our citizens, actually it's Lewis's own dairy farm there. Glasgow Road apparently is not on the list, which is the road that goes north from 12 between Cronk and Sand Lake. And apparently they use that road pretty heavily. The power company has been using it. And she expressed to me that road, they've never seen that road as bad as it is right now.
Ooh.
Now, I think I drove down it after it was graded one day. It wasn't that bad that day, but there are some spots where there are definite holes and stuff like that in it, you know, where it's need, you know, at least some repair there. And I just wondered if that maybe be pointed out to them that, hey, you missed this.
I don't see why they wouldn't, because they've been pretty good about.
Yeah, you said they've been real good about stuff, and I just wanted to make sure that, I mean, Lewis is a pretty significant landowner in that area, and so I just don't wanna.
So we're still working with them to get the contract finalized. but with all these roads, but they've been good about,
Okay.
you know, if they've been messing with the roads at all, that'll be part of
And
it.
I know I mentioned to Gary about, Bean Road, there's a culvert that goes, there's a pond on one north side of the road, and it looks to me like driving over it, maybe it's starting to collapse or something, cause it just seems to be right in line with that culvert, is where there's a dip there, so, something to look at, I don't know. But I know I mentioned it to Gary, he came to our meeting the other day, I was thankful for that, so, yeah, pretty good comments about that, so, thank you.
That culvert was, I had mentioned that to you when I talked to you earlier.
Okay. I'll see where they're at on that, but, yeah.
Any more
That's
comments?
all I got right now.
You're up for 4 minutes, Bob.
I'm sure I can kill that plus some. Alright, let me guess I'll start with Heather's update from her and Kevin. So of course, we're still waiting on, township contracts, if they're wanting to work on them for Buckeye Road, Day and Tamarack, they're the same ones that, you know, I pretty much said for the past few months. Somerset Road, north of Stewart Road, we've hired Scott Civil to inspect the condition of the footers to see if they're good enough that we'll leave, if we can leave the footers there, take the deck off and put a new deck on, that'd be very simple and inexpensive compared to replacing the entire structure, so as soon as they get back to us on that, we'll, hopefully be able to do that. The Frontier Road south of Burt Road, has been completed. The Bacon Road south of Rumsey Road got set yesterday and they're finishing up today, and they should hopefully, have that back open today. All these are just capped with millings, and when the plant opens up, we'll go back and pave over the top of them. We have a virtual meeting set up for this afternoon with Amanda from Rowe Professional Services for the bridge designs for Lackley and Morrisville roads. So we'll see how that works out. The Hartley-Lackley Road Bridge was submitted through Representative Wertz's office, like I said, back on the 13th of February. And we'll see, it's also been submitted for Critical Bridge, and we'll see if one of the other gets funded. So hopefully, no matter what, that should get funded. But so the Critical Bridge, I will wait on that one until after our standing orders. Again, I'm kind of going over some things that you've probably heard in the past too, but the 1 acre property on Pittsburgh Road, we sent out certified letters to the 2 property owners asking for responses by the 30th, so the next board meeting after the 30th, we'll see if we got anything and where we need to go with that, if they're willing to basically split the parcel, and we'll be done with it, hopefully. We have asked, and Eagle said they will perform the 5-year inspection on the pond number 6 dam at Emery Lewis, or Lewis Emery, I always say that. So we'll see what they say there. It's in rough shape, so hopefully there's a way to just cap that and put in a surface tube where we might have to open cut state road to put it in, but
Like an equalizer.
getting rid of those, yeah, just an equalizer tube. Getting rid of some of those dam structures in the long run down the road will help immensely.
That one's the worst.
That one is the worst out of all of them, but that's the farthest one downstream before it releases from anything we got control of. Let's see. The M99 concrete, well, we're about there. So let's.
Hey, I'd say we are.
How's that for timing?
Perfect. All right.
So, we need to do the bid opening for the M99 concrete repair. What's that? Okay, so, yep. Make sure she calls over to Joe and Chris.
Okay.
So currently we have.
Yeah, we learned.
Yeah, we've learned that one. So we've basically got two right now in case one of them still has one in the office there, but, this one is from Rigid Pavement Construction LLC. Okay, so they got a whole slew of different unit prices for the different things, with subtotals, but basically it comes up to a total of $232,782.17.
232, what was the rest of it again?
782.17.
Don't forget the 17. huh?
That's right.
That's the profit.
All right, so the second one we got is from CD Hughes Incorporated. Same thing. This one comes in at $237,625.11. Pretty darn close.
So, yeah, really close.
Another $5,000.
Which firm did the work a year ago?
Sandy.
That's
Yeah,
C&D.
years.
So,
Anybody else?
I guess, what's your pleasure? Everything seems to be, I guess what I would call apples to apples. They both got the same, everybody filled out all the quantities.
Where's Richard from?
We're from Parma.
Parma?
Yes, we were in the Brooklyn area. We just moved out to Parma
Oh.
a year or so ago.
North Palmer Road.
We've done this work before, so
I'm with C&D Hughes,
I,
and they've done it, I think, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. We kind of go back and
It's
forth.
it's always the two of us, basically, and.
So that's why you sit separate, or?
No.
I didn't know.
I was sat right next to her, but I didn't see her when I came in the same room.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing every year. You guys got a certain amount of money, and you do some patches, and they've done it.
Is the start date or the work dates the same time frame? Did it say?
That didn't get put into any of that.
Oh, okay. I just know there's a column on our sheet here, so I didn't know if that was part of the, because, you know, quite frankly, they're gonna do it in September when school's in versus in, I don't know, August when there's less traffic before school starts, yeah. But if not in either one, it doesn't matter.
And it's all pending MDOT approval.
Yeah, and then this all has to be, you guys have to approve, and then MDOT has to approve it, so.
I would have moved that we award the bid to Rigid Pavement Construction. It's almost $5,000 difference.
I'll support.
Any more discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. There you go.
So notification letter will go out and more letters.
That's good that it's close, but you guys have a great day. I'm sure we'll be hearing from you. Thank you.
Okay, so that takes care of that.
Short. Relatively painless.
Okay, moving on. So we've got, I guess we're invited to attend the career fair, which is through the Hillsdale Area Career Center. It's on May 5th, and so I believe we're gonna have Kevin and Heather go, just kind of, I guess, talk to the kids about what we do here and,
That's scary.
you know.
What is this gonna be at?
Let's see, students explaining the different career opportunities the road commission offers. We'll also touch on seasonal opportunities as well. All it says is through the career center on the 5th. So I'm assuming it's at the career center.
Well, I think this is a good thing,
I do too.
because, I mean,
Skilled
we have-
trades are a hard thing to get.
and we have turnover, and kids need to know about the opportunities that are available.
Well, they need to know what requirements
Yeah.
are for getting a job here. I mean, you gotta get it'd be good if you had a CDL to start
Well,
with.
that's all part of it, the requirements for the, not just the drivers, the CDL, but mechanics, their certification, because they do teach auto mechanics and stuff there. What requirements they have, I don't know if they got a whole lot of engineering kind of stuff there, but, there's
Probably
also, all the stuff from the office, I mean, accounting and permits, and, there's a lot of things that I think the kids don't understand what all we do here. And really, I think that's the point, is to let them know, this is available.
And clearly, there's a shortage of engineers, especially mechanical engineers.
And we want civil.
Well, there's a shortage of civil, I mean,
Yes.
really, every type of engineer.
Electrical, all of them are, yep. Let's see, so, I've got another spreadsheet here. Oh, I didn't. Make him out there.
Jones to be
Is this us two that have it? Okay, well, I'm just gonna explain it to them right now. So, let's see, so, just so you know, our guardrail spraying will start next week. So if you see or hear, anybody, good, bad, or ugly, the Dalton agency or Dalton company will be doing it again. The spring this time of year, they go around and spray the guardrails, and then in the fall, they'll come back and spray the brush spray this year it's gonna be the northwest quarter of the county. But here next week, you'll be seeing them out doing the guardrail. It takes them a couple days, and they're done with the guardrail. Then we have Albright Contractors, which they're the ones that do our inspections on the bridges, to tell us, what's deficient, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be load rated, all that. They came up with a spreadsheet of all of our bridges that need work and that requires certain things. The yellow highlighted here on this are what they considered priority. We should look at doing them first. And then the others are, just, it needs to be done, but get your priority stuff done first is what they're saying. So in the grand scheme of things, we would like to, and we had to take one bridge off, because it's actually one of them that's gonna get funded. So we asked them, and it was like $11,000 fix. And so we asked them, do we need to spend that $11,000 or can it wait? Can that bridge structure hold until it gets repaired? And they said, no, that's good. Take that one off your list and it'll just be addressed. So it went from $50,000 down to $38,918.25 to do them all. And I would prefer to do them all and just get all of our bridges, because next year, these that aren't priority are gonna turn into priorities, so, in the grand scheme of things, that's only about 10,000 of that is the non-priority, so I think we need to do them all.
How many bridges?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 bridges to do the basic maintenance and different repairs that they would recommend doing.
Are they doing them, or is it stuff we're doing? Who's
Oh, no,
gonna
they do it.
They're gonna do it.
Yeah, we don't.
So if they told us $11,000 needed to be done on a bridge that we're redoing,
Mhm.
how long are these repairs for then? Because that's a critical bridge. I don't understand how $11,000 is gonna repair that bridge. And if we're only fixing for a minute versus,
It's not
5
repairing,
years.
it's fixing there's certain things. It'd be like, some of it is like drainage, where like deck draining over steel stiffener plates, extend deck drains. And some things are small things that don't necessarily, you wouldn't think of extending the life, but they do. and I believe that bridge, that particular bridge, the repairs they were saying need to be done on it fell into the non-priority, cause it's just things that need to get done to them. Even though that one's in the critical bridge and it needs to get replaced totally, those few were just kind of, I don't wanna call them Band-Aids, but just to get it through, and they said, no, don't waste your money on it. That it will get fixed soon enough to where those repairs wouldn't have
Okay.
helped us any. So I guess I would like to, I'd take a motion to expend that amount of money, to Albright Contracting to repair our bridges at $38,918.25.
So move.
Support. Any more discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We're still working on and hopefully finish up in the next week or so, the Gilmore Road, that's the last of all the ditch and deburn projects from, that was supposed to be 24. We got it, all the stuff done in 25 except for laying the gravel. And so now that everything's drying out, we're getting the roads straightened up, now we'll lay the gravel and that project will get wrapped up. Let's see, the state crews have just kind of normally been out doing coal patch, trimming brush, scraping the shoulders. They've had quite a few washouts that they've had to go back, reinforce, fill in, all that good stuff. There's still 2 of them down here by the car dealers that MDOT's even getting into. They want us to do a quick temporary to keep it from washing and eroding the concrete or the asphalt, but then they're gonna come in with a more permanent fix that they're trying to work up right now. County crew, same thing, a lot of them been out scraping the gravels with the trucks and the graders. I guess I just keep in mind we have 4 graders, each one's responsible for 4 townships. So it takes them a little longer to get around, and they're the ones that are gonna cut the roads and get the bumps out of them. The trucks are there to help, but they just can't cut holes out. They can scratch the gravel around, they can all dump their ballast once they're done scraping in a bad hole that day or something, and kind of try to fill in some of those like that, but that's really what the trucks are out there for. Let's see, we had limestone hauled in, we were done hauling to the Stevens pit for those up in that area. We still got about another 1,000 tons coming into the Osseo pit to handle all of our limestone contracts that we're getting and improving throughout. We started interviewing seasonal positions. Most of them, some of them will start on the 4th of May. We got 5 returning seasonals that, they've been with us for multiple years. And then all the rest, most of them are on the 4th, I believe, but then a few scattered later in the year because of school or other things. And they're basically gonna be doing mowing, flagging, all the labor, patching holes, all that good stuff. So we had a contract that you guys approved for Reading Township for Lilac Road. The township would like to pull that contract and not do that this year. So I don't know if any action needs to get done, but I just need to let you know, you've already approved it, everybody signed it, but they've elected to, hold back on some of their stuff, and so they asked. And so we got in writing from them that they would like that withdrawn for this year, and we'll still do all the other contracts that they did, but this one for Lilac Road we'll hold off on.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to do anything.
Okay.
So was that a paver patch and?
Yes, that was a paver patch, seal coat, fog, shoulders. It was about a $90,000 project, so they want to hold off for this year.
What township?
Reading.
Thank you.
So it'd be like 49 to what?
Hillsdale?
Okay. I don't know that Hillsdale,
probably not
That
that
was
far
part of
east.
Cambria.
Yeah, won't be that far east.
We did from Hillsdale to Cambria last year.
The
All right,
township line
so-
is Gilmore Road.
I briefly talked, I don't know with some of you, but I don't know about all of you, about our mower situation. Our lawnmower that we do this and the park down by Martinria, went down on us. It's looking like it could be up to $5,000 to fix it. It's an 2008 mower, that I don't believe we need to spend $5,000 to fix that. So one, we'll need to sell that, but two, we either need to buy a replacement or possibly even look into what a service or a contract would be to have that done. And I guess look at which one's more advantageous, and I'll bring that back to you on the next board meeting to.
Okay.
In the meantime, we did rent a mower to get it done. It was getting quite tall here. But next meeting, we'll have some figures for you to either look at contracting it out, or we have quotes, and right now they're running anywhere from 10 to 11,000 up to 14,000, depending on the brand and everything. So that'll be part of that calculations as to how we want to do it. Let's see. I'm not sure how many of you are involved with or knew about the water issue we've been having down on Harmon Road, at South Hillsdale. There was an issue where a tile got either plugged, broke, whatever, which made the water come up over Harmon Road and flood the road, which in turn came across the road and flooded some property that the church on that corner owns. So we worked with the local business there and got some cement blocks lined across Harmon Road to block the water, and then our crews went in there and put some fabric and gravel on it to hold the water back and not keep flooding. In the meantime, this has been an ongoing thing. In the meantime, the property owner has been trying to pump the water up over their hill, and it goes and gets into the county drain that way. So they're trying to bring that down. At the same time, we had a local farmer bring out what they call a bridge, which is a pipe that goes over the road, and one of his tractors and a pump. And so we pumped that water that was flooding the church out across Hillsdale Road and where it can get into the county drain also. So we got that all pumped down right now, and really nobody can do a whole lot with fixing everything until things dry out. It's all too muddy, the equipment just gets stuck. So hopefully this summer when things will dry out, we are hoping to look at boring up to probably a 16-inch pipe underneath South Hillsdale Road to handle any surface water. And then once that's set, we'll have it ditched back around to Harmon Road, set that tube. We can put a tube in there. It's just a normal cross tube because there's nothing on either road right now. So it just traps the water. And so we'll set that tube, which will then let any surface water free flow. Because that's all it is rainwater that collects out of that one little valley there that has it all trapped. So it'll only have water in it anytime it rains. Other than that, it should pretty well empty itself. But we gotta wait and see what we can do once everything dries up. But right now, we've got the water pumped down to where the church is no longer flooded. Their drain field was covered, now it's not covered. I don't know if it's compromised or not, but that's for them. We tried to take care of the water issues the best we could. A lot more to come on that. I did talk to the property owner and let him know that there will be a bill coming for any and all of the work that we've done because of this issue. We'll have to see how that goes.
They obviously did not get the rain that we had yesterday.
I don't know if they did or not. I haven't been down there since. It did rain like crazy here yesterday, but it was like one little storm cloud that kind of went through, and if you were in it, you got pounded. If you weren't, there was sun.
It rained off and on at our place for over an hour.
Okay.
And there were many times that you couldn't see an eighth of a mile.
Well,
We probably got 2 inches. So what I'm saying is, if they had got the rain at that location that we had, all that water would be back.
well, both sides have actually pumped down a lot. I mean, we
Yeah.
took a lot of water out of there. Even the preacher said that that's probably lower than what he's ever seen. It's always held water, but it absorbs slowly. And he said we've got it down lower than what he's ever seen it, so he was happy for that. And on the other side, they're steadily pumping it, so whether they kept up, I don't know. But it was still, they had it probably about 2.5 to 3 foot down below the road yesterday. So it shouldn't have.
They still pumping it south?
Yes. Okay, so more to come on that, but that's where we're at with that. We've buffered the road to where the road shouldn't get affected anymore, even though those cement blocks are there and narrows up the road a little bit, but it's still got plenty of room for traffic to go. I think in the past I said something to you about one of our hoists in the garage going down. We're still trying to get an accurate cost if they had to come dig it up and replace it, what that will be. If not, I'm gonna probably entertain asking you for a 6-post portable hoist system, which could load, or it could actually lift one of our tandems fully loaded. And you can put them really anywhere you want. They're portable, they're radio controlled and everything. If we have to go that route, we're probably looking at 45,000. It's probably gonna be close to that just to try to get the old one in the ground repaired. So, but again, that's one of those, we'll compare the repair to the replacement, and we would love to have them both because they need some more lifts in there anyway, but that's where we're at with that. All right, so you already approved getting the 1-ton dump truck from the Dodge dealer. They said they would be able to sell it like we were asking about being a used truck. So I told them I would get back with them after this board meeting to make sure everything's still good and that you're okay with that still. And our next AP run is on the 30th. We'll cut a check. We'll go down, pick it up and get it. On top of that, Commissioner Leininger contacted me and said that there was another one sitting at the Ford dealer that's a used dump truck. And that actually was one of the comparables that we used when we were looking at the Dodge. So it is still available. They are holding it right now. It's a 2015, which at first glance I was like, yeah, no. But after looking at it, it looks very good. It's only got 55,000 miles on it for 2015. It's a double cab, and it's already like wired for a radio and stuff, which we would put that kind of stuff in ourselves. But they are asking, and they did come down off of the list price, but they're asking $39,170. So with your approval, I guess I would like to get that, and then between those two, we'd have 2 additional resources, dump trucks, for less than the cost of what one new one would have been.
You need a motion?
I think I would, yeah.
Where is it from?
Can still
Can
afford.
still well afford. Yeah, right, you're down the road here. No.
One question, did it have a plow on it?
No. Well, when
Yeah,
they
it is
plow,
good,
it's rough
yeah.
on them, so yeah, I understand that, but no. They could put one on if we wanted them to, but,
That, yeah, I understand that, I just wanted to know if it had a plow on it.
and it is a 4-wheel drive, double cab, or crew cab.
It is 4-wheel drive.
That's pretty reasonable for a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, I would move that we buy it.
I'll support.
Discussion. Go ahead, Kathy.
Go ahead, Kathy.
I'm just processing, it's at the Ford dealer, is it a Ford truck? I guess I
Yes.
didn't hear that.
That's
Okay.
F-350.
And we probably have not had any crew cab dump trucks before?
Nope.
Um,
I will tell you, I purchased 17 of them in Jackson before I left. They were all they were built, but they were built as swap loaders. And so they had a fleet of 17 of them that are crew cab. And it helps if you have a bigger crew to take the whole crew out at once, but it also helps if you have extra equipment. And it's not sitting back there with the cold patch and,
right,
you know, that kind of thing. So,
right.
it is in very good shape. I'll say it's got hand crank windows and stuff like that, but, you
That's
know.
right up my alley.
it's not-
Right, and it's not rusted out or starting to rust or?
It didn't appear to be, they did paint the outside of the box to make, it's all white, it's a total white unit. So the box does look a lot better because they painted it, and I understand that, but.
Right, and a brand new one was gonna run?
A brand new one, by the time we bought a cabin chassis and had it built, would be right around 100,000.
Right, but to this 39, we still have to do something or no?
Put lights on it.
Lights and the radio,
So very little,
yes.
okay, alright. Okay,
Any other?
did anybody test drive it?
Joe did.
Okay,
Yep.
alright, well, good.
Joe went up and looked at it, and he came back and said he thought it was a good truck.
Okay,
I went up and looked at it, and I didn't drive it.
okay, I'm just glad somebody drove it.
Good. No more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries.
And I want to say the last thing I've got is you approved to purchase the 2 Western Star plow trucks.
Mhm.
And after doing some research, the quote that I had to use was the old quote, and with the new uptick in prices and tariffs and stuff, I need to ask you to resend that one. And to do a new one, it's added $1,600 per truck. And
Oh,
so,
you gonna say 16,000?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
so it went from, the old one was, motion number 26-060, for $162,858. And so the new ones would be $164,445.
I move to rescind the previous motion.
Support,
Any more discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries.
And then I'll make a motion to purchase the 2 Western Star trucks at the increased price of $1,600 per truck.
Well, I would just say at this price, $164,445 each.
support,
Any discussion on that? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Aye.
So is there anything else we've got to do for that?
And Wolverine Freight.
Yeah, it's from Wolverine Freightliner, but that's it's the same company, but. And with that, I believe we're pretty close to the
Yep.
10:45 for the next, standing order.
Okay. Wayne, you're up.
How you doing? Blaine LeBlanc, 13563 Monte Carlo Drive. I'm requesting permission to pave a portion of Monte Carlo Drive from Sellers Road South to the top of the hill. I believe it's approximately 12 to 1,500 feet. Very similar to what was done north of Sellers Drive on Woodbridge. They extended the road just partially. I'm looking to pay the expense of the materials, working with the county on getting it done, creating a heavy duty asphalt covering, 3 2-inch layers of the asphalt, so it would be a 6-inch thick road, which is 2-inch 2 inches more than the county specs, which would increase the life of the road. The base has been added to over the years, over the past 25 years I've been there, graded, so the base is good now, have to be shaved down. The extra stone could be used for continuing or filling any low areas going down the hill. And I went to all the neighbors, had a meeting a year and a half ago about getting together and having the entire Monte Carlo and Rapallo Drive paved and pooling our monies together, everybody with a house, dividing it up and getting it done quickly. The other option was to do a special district. The people in the houses pretty much said yes, they were going for it, which is about 20, just under 25% of the vote. The other lot owners, including myself, which owns the majority of it, I'm a no, because I'd be paying 60% of the entire paving of Monte Carlo Drive and Rapallo Drive, which benefits me in no way whatsoever. So I'm willing to cover the expense to do a portion of the road and do it done correctly with the help of Bob, as far as the specs. And actually it would be over-spec'd to last a lot longer. And I just wanted to get your feedback on it, see what you guys thought. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer it.
I guess a question I have, is this currently considered a private drive or a public road?
It's a certified road.
It is a certified road.
Used to be private, but it is definitely public now.
Both Monte Carlo and Rapallo, which is a small stub with a cul-de-sac, are both certified.
And it's something I'd like to get started like right away, especially after it dries up and before things really get cooking.
So break this down for me again. Who's paying what?
I would take on the expense to do it. It was mentioned that it could be through a private contractor to do the whole thing, or the county could do the labor. I'm covering all the materials. I'm not sure how it works, but under your supervision and direction, it would be done. It's nothing that I would take on myself. I would leave it up to the county to do it. I briefly talked to Bob about it, and he says we can come up with a plan, but it's best to get in front of the board and let them know exactly what you're looking to do. I'm not looking to, I spent 2 years with the neighbors trying to come up with a plan to get this done, but no one can seem to agree. So I'm willing to get it started. I believe that once this is started, they will probably get together and say, wow, this looks great, we'll cover the rest of it. And a few of them basically said that off the record.
How much was the total?
I think the rough estimate was about 450 to 500,000 to do the entire.
How many, how?
That's like 1.1, 1.2 miles.
So we have.
I think it's about a mile for Monte Carlo, and then 1.1, 0.2 for Rapallo, which is where most of the people, other than Blaine, most of the people live on that little section there. Once you hit the last one, it kind of goes up the hill and heads back towards Sellers. That's all empty lots, and so.
Have have you done an estimate on what it would cost to do this portion that Blaine is requesting?
Yes, I wanna say that one,
We didn't really finish the estimate until we got your blessing.
I wanna say that was gonna be like in the 75,000 range. So, nail me down to that figure, that's roughly. So yes, if you don't mind, I got like a couple of questions for Blaine that,
Sure.
you know, I've talked to them a lot. So, like, you're saying you'd be willing to pay for that section in front of you?
Yes,
If,
and there's neighbors that own lots.
have you
And that's-
talked to them about just the neighbors that live there, the people that have residents there, not the empty lots? Would that group of people look at just dividing the whole like 500,000 up and
No,
paying for it?
yeah, they don't wanna do it. They say, well, you have more lots, so you should pay $325,000 and we'll split the difference and, yeah, that, in a perfect world,
Okay.
yeah, I don't have the money that you guys get paid, otherwise I'd do that. That was a joke. But, yeah, that's just, that cannot happen. I mean, they did the paving of East Diane, as you guys are all well aware. And, I wasn't part of that discussion. I didn't realize that there was even anything going on with that. They had a small group putting that together. I was assessed just under $200,000 for that road that I wasn't aware of, that I was gonna be assessed. So I'm paying an extra $12,000 to $15,000 a year on my taxes, and I had no knowledge that it was happening. So I got jammed up pretty good there. But being that I did bring up East Diane, we've gone to the township meetings about chip and sealing the road. Doug Whitler has been in here. He basically headed that up. It was pushed forward. There was areas that the road, the base was not done properly, but it was pushed through because it had to be done, had to be done, had to be done. So there's areas of that road that is decaying rapidly. The portion that I have, which is a great deal of road frontage from Sellers going south past the curve, I had mentioned to Bob that if they can't get together to do the chip and seal to save the rest of the road, I'd be willing to help, you know, with that too. I believe the chip and seal, from the research that I have done and what Bob explained to me, that will extend the life of the road tremendously. And if we have to fill the major cracks with tar, that should be done later on, because the crack and seal method would fill in those small cracks and then a stone base over the top of it. So if, you know, why we're doing the stretch in front of my house, if we can do the, you know, crack and seal in that stretch right there. And then when the hands get raised and there's like, well, why does that get done? Well, Blaine has paid for that and he has come to the meetings and he has followed the procedures over the past 2 years. And I'm a pretty good sized contributor with that area. I am doing a lot of work at the north end. If there's any veterans in here besides Bob, we're erecting a big 60-foot flagpole and doing a monument at the corner of Sellers and East Diane, and gonna have a flag raising and cook some hot dogs for the veterans, and it's just a donation of my gratitude for the country and for veterans. That's coming up at the end of June. So.
Do you have any more questions?
Not really, I mean, It's just, I guess it's, I told him he should come to you guys and get your opinions of what you thought of doing portion of the road in front of his, or he would pay for it. But that wasn't a call I was gonna make, so.
Well, I guess the question I would have is if we do just a portion of it, does that create troubles for us in maintaining the gravel portion and the rest of the roads?
Probably no more than what we already have.
And then, given our workload, do we have time to do this portion? Or should our attention be on preserving the road that was already paved that seems to need attention? And do we have enough resources for both?
We can never have enough resources for everything, but
Exactly.
it's just all a prioritization. When they go out and pave, this would, no offense, but I don't know if all this could get done this year. So, with the engineering and the things that would have to get done preparatory to it to get the base where it needs to be. The paving itself, we could, when our pavers are out there, it wouldn't be, they'd have to do it in 3 lifts. And so they'd be out there one day, do a lift, and they could go move on to somewhere else. Come out another day, do the second lift, and do it like that. So there's a couple spots on cellars that we have to fix, and one or two on Woodbridge that we have to fix right in that area anyway with the paver. So the paving portion, I don't think would be overly burdensome on a crews. The dirt work may, but again, I think it'd just be a planning thing.
And is it a good idea to stop paving at the top of a hill?
Well, we would have to look at that. I mean, I want to say his actually goes over the top, and it kind of like, it's on the way down. So we would have to address some drainage on both sides, because it's gonna have some kind of runoff, whether it's a lot or not. There's already some runoff that runs down there anyway. So we're gonna have to deal with something there, but.
And shoulder issues, keeping shoulders up next to it.
Yes, that'd all be part of it'd all have to be, I think he owns.
All of it.
Well, he owns all of it on both sides till you get there, and then you still own part of it on the right side of the road, I guess.
Yeah.
Down towards the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
So all that drainage stuff would have to be on his.
And is this the same properties that we had drainage issues because dirt was moved?
No.
No, okay, I just wanna make sure I'm not combining the wrong people together. Okay, I'm glad I asked that question.
But I can
I thought it
address
was.
that here in a little bit.
Okay,
So.
okay.
But the base and the road right now, from him and I meeting out there and walking it, it's in pretty good shape. It's not gonna be a major.
We pretty much have to shave down part of it, because it was built up to match his existing concrete, structures there. But we'll have to shave it down 6 inches to accommodate that asphalt to go back in. The rest of it we can do, we'll just have to shave down that one part that goes by all that and the top of the hill. And
So if this paving gets done in the next, year or whatever, and then the discussion happens to pave beyond it, and then you run all this heavy equipment over that new paved road to do the other, is there gonna be complaining going on that you're ruining this section of the road that I paid for?
Not if it's built right to begin with.
if it shouldn't, because one, they can still come in, while they're doing, they come in on the gravel portion.
Okay.
For any of the big heavy stuff. But then building it to, and I was gonna even talk to him about using your permazyme on the base to make that solid, and then put a 6-inch cap on it. That's probably better than most of our Class A roads.
Okay.
So, and that's what he was asking for, is to make, because he does have some heavier equipment, maybe not the big, huge, extravagant stuff, but he's got some heavy equipment that he brings up there, and that 6-inch and a solid base would handle that.
I'm looking for Class A plus.
Right. So then I guess my other concern would be if we choose to go forward on this, and we have other residents in the county who want small sections paved to their house, how do we handle that, and are we setting a bad precedent?
That's the reason I brought it to you guys, or asked it to come to you guys, is, to me, the downfall to this, I mean, cause getting somebody to help and pay for a road, great. You know, doesn't really matter to me where it's at, as long as you're not making a checkerboard thing. So I would think it has to connect to a paved road, and if, I guess